Well, good morning, guys. Welcome back to another trading session here. Today you will see that I have a practice account here, doing some demo and paper trading since yesterday. I didn't perform well, honestly. I'm not proud of yesterday's trading session, honestly, and due to that I will paper trade the rest of the week and resume combined trading at in the next Monday. So yesterday was a difficult day for me. First of all, I should have not played whatever price action was giving us, and I tried to trade here, but honestly I should have never touched it because the ranges were too big for me. We were facing I don't know, but we were facing candles with almost 100 handles, and honestly, I'm kind of I'm kind of ashamed of yesterday's performance. Honestly, I hit the maximum drawdown, the limit that I had on the combine account, and due to that, I violated because I hit the drawdown limit. So, in theory, the combine account got blown out. So I will have to wait until Monday. I think that's on the 13th, and we will have the rebuild of those combines, and the rebuild gives us a free reset. So I will just paper trade it until Friday, and then Monday I will probably resume to the combine. But yeah, yesterday was not a good day for me overall. I should have never trade this type of price action. I tried it. I violated some of my rules, which were the 11 hour after 11 a.m. I should have closed my trading account, and I was searching for something, but price was consolidated, and somehow I was expecting that to happen, but I was trying to get out of drawdown, and that took me to even more drawdown, and I will do it. I will input a hard stop on my account as soon as I hit a drawdown of 2R. So I think that will help me, since I still have to work on that, knowing when to stop, since conditions are not ideal, and since I have to work on that, I think that the hard stops that TopSnapX platform gives us will help me in some way. So I will try to implement them in the next week for the trading combines, but for now I will the rest of the week I will just, as you can see, this is a demo account that I have here, and I will play the demo account just for just to wait for the reset on my combine, and that way I will eventually reset my mental state as well. So I think it will help me. For those guys who followed me yesterday, I'm sorry, but I really wasn't on my best shape and my best performance state. So better days will come, honestly. And I have to work on that. I have to work on those better days that will come. But yeah, another day, another job to do. So for today's action, what do I see here? Well, I see a lot of relative equal lows here on London. London lows are in a shape of relative equal lows here, which can gather some sell side liquidity. Price has been grinding up, and it grinded a lot to the upside before 8:30 open. So what I'm expecting here is eventually a take of buy side liquidity from yesterday's high, and eventually a lower reversion to the downside, trying to attack London lows eventually. Well, if price wants to keep going higher, it can also keep going higher, but I will try to engage with shorts today and try to not engage with longs, as long as I will probably only engage with longs if I see something very clear, and if I see that a major pool of sell side liquidity has been taken. Otherwise, if price keeps grinding up, I will probably have no chance to engage with it. So let's see what price will give us, and I will try to work with that. So yeah, we are some minutes away. Yeah, we have 1 minute until the open, the 9:30 open. So price is now above 8:30 open, above midnight open, above this 1 hour fair value gap as well, the bullish one. We have some bullish 15-minute fair value gaps as well. So let's see how price behaves as soon as it takes yesterday's high and hits this buy side liquidity here. We still have some relative equal highs as well here, right above. But for those who play with NWalks, we are working inside a big NWalk here as well. So keep in mind that it can be a day where price consolidates, and if it doesn't give us the downside displacement, it will probably and eventually keep working that NWalk until it reaches its top, or until it gets the full rejection. So right now I'm just waiting for 9:30 open. We'll see what this will give us. For those who are just joining the stream, I'm trading demo account and the practice account, which you can see here on your bottom left. Since I've blown my combine account, I have to paper trade until the end of the week, and then Monday I will resume the combine. So for now we have our opening here, 9:30 opening. So I will just push this to here. And 9:30 open is just giving us a small retracement to this bullish fair value gap that we have here, the order block as well. So let's see if price wants to hold this and continue to the upside, or I'm expecting it to take yesterday's high first, and then we should look for some kind of short I'm sorry. And then we should search for some kind of a short setup. While price is respecting this fair value gap, I'm expecting it to go a little bit higher here, honestly, taking eventually buy side liquidity from yesterday's high. But I will give price some time to decide what he wants to do. Yeah, for now we are inverting, eventually inverting the this bullish fair value gap. Let's see. Yeah, seems like this one is being inverted. Let's give it some more time here. But I was expecting, honestly, a push to the upside, taking buy side liquidity as yesterday's high. On NQ, we still have those, that yesterday high is a bit more far from ES, yesterday's high. Yeah, as you can see, price is trying to reach for that. So this might end as a bullish fair value gap. Let's see. Yeah, so far this one got I don't think it will be inverted. I think this will be worked out first. As you can see, price is pushing higher. For those who played yesterday's price action, we have a similar volatility. So price is giving us 20 handle candles, which is a lot. And honestly, if you are trading a 50K account, where you can only use micros, playing with 20 handle candles is a lot. You can only trade it with one micro. Don't do what I've done yesterday, where I've tried to play it with 2 or even 3 micro contracts. It will put your stop loss in a very bad position, probably, because you will have to have a stretched. Imagine that if you want to go short here, just say you have to put your stop loss here, and this would give you a 15 handle stop loss size. With a 15 handle stop loss size, if you want to only risk $200, your maximum position size should be 2 micros. So this one here got inverted. We still have yesterday's highs to be taken here. Price is probably trying to form the first presented fair value gap. If this candle just closes here or nearby this price, we have our first presented fair value gap. as I was saying before, I'm expecting lower prices here. I'd like to see eventually these relative equal lows on London to be taken. So let's see. Price almost reached the midpoint of this shaded area. This shaded area is a N walk. So price retracing right now. We have to have in mind that a Judas swing is usually formed at 9:30. So this can be our Judas swing as well. Let's see. So right now, the first presented for value gap is being respected. We have a smaller one right below. Let me just check one more thing here. So let me see where the midpoint of this leg is. So it's right above the 1 hour for value gap. So 8:30 acting as support right now. And the bottom half of the unwalk is acting as support as well here for now. Price not willing to come back to the first presented for value gap. We'll give it some more time here and see if it wants to reach it and then eventually come down to another leg, or if it wants to reach it and progress to the upside. Yeah, like expected, price is trying to reach the first presented for value gap. Would like to see how it behaves as soon as it touches it. So price came to the first presented for value gap. It wicked to the downside. Let's see if we get another push to the upside or if price just tumbles down. So this, yeah. Another touch here. Let's see if it respects the midpoint of it. Because I'm still expecting here buy side liquidity at least. We are so close to it. Doesn't make sense that we will leave this. So I'm eventually expecting it to disrespect the first presented for value gap and give another touch to the upside here. Honestly. Let's see if it will work like that or not. Yeah, price is pushing higher. It closed above the first presented for value gap. It's holding there. 8:30 open worked as a support, and we will probably face something like this, taking yesterday's high here. Just notice how 8:30 and the bottom of the NWOG is supporting price right now. It touched the 15-minute for value gap and the order block as well. So seems like price is primed to another push to the upside here. We'll just wait. There is a tiny fair value gap here, a bullish one, but honestly, I think that the first presented fair value gap should act as a support here. There we go. We are touching it. Price is immediately going back to the upside. Another stretch to the upside here. Let's see if we can form a 1-minute order block. This red candle should form an order block here. This right here should be a trading idea where price will hit yesterday's high. Eventually you can put it right here where you have relative equal highs as well. I will probably maintain this here. Okay, so far we formed that order block here. So price is now grinding to the upside as expected, trying to reach for buy side liquidity as yesterday's high. Price is still working that inverted fair value gap. The first presented should act as a support here. We still have this order block as well, and this fair value gap here down below. Let's see if price can hold here the first presented fair value gap or not. Otherwise, we will go to the downside here. But I'm really expecting buy side liquidity as yesterday's high being taken before. Price is now working below the first presented fair value gap. So whenever we have this kind of type action, where the first presented fair value gap is just getting disrespected to the upside or to the downside, we need to be patient here, because market can be in a indecisive state. Price is trying another push to the upside. Above the first presented fair value gap, it just closed above it, trying to go for another run to the upside here. Here I would like to see some speed taking out these highs, taking out these highs as well, because there are many people trying to sell into this Judas swing that 930 gave us. There we go, we got our first close above it. As soon as we touched 930, price is reacting to it, so it can be some type of a small resistance in this case, because we have buy side liquidity and yesterday's high to be taken here. I would like to see how NQ is performing. But honestly, top step X has been lagging on NQ's price action, and I can't really see where price is on NQ. Price is still trying to get out of this 930 range. We are approaching, no, we are not approaching, we are already inside a macro. So the macro hour 9:52, 10:10. So we open a position right inside a macro, and we will try to push this position until the next macro. If it makes sense to us, we will try to do it. So this is the first one, and the second macro that I'm probably interested in is the 1050 to 1110. So 1050 to 1110. Yeah, price is still working on those highs, and the 930 open, taking some time, but I guess it's fine since we have buy side liquidity right above us. Seems like NQ is making another high as well, and trying to get for those highs. We'll give it some time here. one I will retrace here, and I will add this one, which is the valid one, the bullish one that we are working in. Yeah. So let's see. Price will have some steam here in this time window, and I'm counting with it. I'm counting on it. I mean, so we will probably start to dig higher here. I would like to see some speed and some displacement to the upside, not this back and forth action. Seems like ES will hit the buy side liquidity first, and NQ will do it after it. So we have to have in mind that as soon as NQ hits that buy side liquidity, we have to eventually take some profits. So buy side liquidity is taken here, and we are facing the midpoint of the NWOG as well. I'm expecting NQ still running to the upside, so it will eventually drag ES with it, unless we make some kind of an SMT here. We will probably form another fair value gap here. I would like to see that. Let's see if 930 holds as support. Otherwise, we will eventually retest this fair value gap here, and I will probably drag my stop to break even here. I know that's a bit aggressive, because it's still permissible to price come back to this fair value gap, but I don't want to see it come back because we already took buy side liquidity here on ES, and we can eventually drag to the downside, and I want to see that with an open position. So that this is the type of work that I should have done yesterday, protecting myself. NQ still heading to the upside as well. But let's see if 930 holds here as support, since price is stalling here at the midpoint of the NWOG and right after taking buy side liquidity. This is not the type of purge that I would like to see. I would like to see something more aggressive to the upside, honestly. Yeah, price is really working this area. NQ is heading to the upside. Seems like ES is waiting for NQ. Right now, price is above the midpoint, so everything is happening according to what we expected. NQ also holding the upside. The NQ still has some room to go, and I'm waiting on it, honestly. ES kind of stalled here a bit. But I would like to see it pushing a little bit higher here, since we have those relative equal highs from, I think that this is from the 4th April. It's from Friday. Those are not Friday's highs. Friday's highs are, let me just check here. Yeah, Friday high is right above here, that London high. We are still far away from it, but we never know with the markets that volatile, how they are volatile right now. Everything is possible, honestly. I've never seen such a big run like yesterday. Yesterday was a crazy day, honestly. Should have never touched it. This run to the upside, I've never seen such a thing on indices, honestly. And I've been trading for some years already. But yeah. So ES is still pushing higher here. I expect it to go a little bit more to the upside, at least until NQ hits the same buy side liquidity as yesterday's high. So if we take, just let me measure where price is, honestly. I will do it right from the open, because I guess this might be the Judas swing. Just to see where price is right now. So the implied fib, price stopped right at 0.5 standard deviation. We have those relative equal highs as -1 standard deviation as well. And we have these relative equal highs is minus 2 standard deviation, 2.5 standard deviation. So this could be a good confluence, but we need to maintain the upside here, honestly. Price is retracing higher, lower here. But yeah, the first projection, the first swing projection that we made was right on spot. Price just hit buy side liquidity as yesterday's high, and now is retracing a bit. NQ still has some room to go, so I'm expecting a further movement here to the upside. Let me just check here another good position. Let me just check here. The London from yesterday's move, the London, yeah, it has confluence as well here. The last swing, the last swing low here, as you can see, it has some type of confluence as well. Yeah, ES just retraced to the midpoint of the analog and is now holding. Pushing to the upside once again. Notice how our price just stopped here at this order block. We retraced down to this bullish fair value gap as well, and we maintained the bullish course here. So NQ is making another high as well, and is almost touching, and it's almost touching the buy side liquidity from yesterday's high. NQ is still working that midpoint. It's been about 13 minutes and it's still working that midpoint, while NQ, I think it is heading to the upside. Can't really see what it is doing in real time, honestly, because the price is stopped here on the platform. Well, at this point, the macro hour is ending as well. So the steam that the fuel that we should have might be stopping in the next minutes. NQ almost hitting the buy side liquidity. Note how we are wicking below the midpoint of the envelope, which gives us some confidence about the continuation to the upside. But NQ has a little bit more to go, not much more, but it has. Let's see if price wants to reach higher now. It is taking some time here, and it should not take this long, honestly. I will eventually take a partial here. There we go. Just paying the trader, and we'll leave the rest for these relative equal highs. Position is protected at break even as well, so 930 should act as support if price comes back. It is permissible for price to revisit this fair value gap, but I won't allow it. My stop won't allow it, so I'm just waiting for a displacement to the upside, taking these relative equal highs. These relative equal highs. Meanwhile, NQ is taking its buy side liquidity. So even if price comes back and displaces back, because the major work for ES is done here. If we retrace back with displacement to the downside, my stop protects me at break even, so I will not face any drawdown here. I'm curious to see if price will continue its way to the upside until 1050, because if so, there's another proof about what I've told you. I don't know if it was Friday or yesterday about the macro hours. Usually, if you enter in a macro time, especially the 950, if you enter around this time window, you can eventually stretch your position until the next macro. So that would be awesome to see if price really wants to make a move until 1050, especially when we are in expansion movements like this one. after 1050 we might eventually expect some bearish movement, some type of retrace, because macros usually do two things: or they start a reversal, or they continue an expansion. In this case, we have a continuation of the expansion move, but I guess the expansion move will probably end around here, the top of the annual, these relative equal highs, and eventually with 1050 time frame window as well. So we can eventually face a reversal as soon as we hit the 1050 hour. Well, NQ is just playing right below its yesterday's high, so let's see. Notice how price just forms some type of a back and forth as soon as we hit buy side liquidity here on yesterday's high. It really formed a back and forth action, and this is the type of action that it is kind of hard to face, especially when you are in drawdown. And this is the type of action that you want to avoid if you are in drawdown, because price will eventually climb, and will tease you with some short moves, but eventually it will not give you those short moves. Yeah, I'm just waiting for NQ to displace to the upside, taking yesterday's high. And meanwhile, ES is just doing its own thing, honestly. That back and forth action. For those who haven't seen my entry, I just entered right at this inverted fair value gap. It was a bit stretched to the upside, but and I should have eventually have waited a bit more, but I was not expecting another call to the first presented fair value gap, and it did retrace a little bit below the first presented fair value gap, but I guess my stop positioning was very good because it was intentional below this below this canal that breaks through the first presented fair value gap, and eventually below this red candle here, which can be a order block as well. So price is still grinding higher here. Yes, it's maintaining its course to the upside, so eventually we can expect a stretch of this upside movement until 1050. I guess we just have to be patient. NQ is right below it, right below its buy side liquidity. So I'm kind of curious about what happens as soon as NQ hits buy side liquidity. I really would like to see us come to these relative equal highs here, because they are indeed kind of suspicious. if you were a seller here, a short seller, at this time you would probably be praying for your stop to hold, honestly. This is the first presented fair value gap from Friday's trading session, so that's why we are facing here some kind of a resistance. I will mark this as Friday's first presented fair value gap. I usually don't stretch these Fridays these first presented fair value gaps, but in some cases they might be a good addition to your workflow, your chart. So as you can see, it is respecting Friday's first presented fair value gap, while in Q is right below buy side liquidity. So let's see if we have an order block here as well. Let me check the order block here. Should be this one. This is a bullish order block. This order block should be respected, otherwise we will see lower prices. It is permissible for price to dig into the order block. It is permissible to wick below it as well, but it should not be permissible to close below it. Sometimes it happens, it's just a fake out, but it should be part of our defense line here. See, the order block is being respected here, which has some confluence with the midpoint of the NWA. Let's see if it holds. At least we have some type of reaction. Yeah, good continuation of the reaction here on the order block. See how price just reacted by the tick on the order block. Once again, the Friday's first presented fair value gap, we should eventually invert this fair value gap. There we go, working through it. Well, since we have already worked the order block, I will just wait for a close above Friday's first presented fair value gap, and then I will push my stop loss a bit above, but below the order block, because I don't want to price to retrace to the downside. I want a clear stretch to the upside now, so I will do that right here, not allowing price to revisit this area. Otherwise, we will end up in a range bound price action, which I'm not allowing, honestly. Coming once again back to the order block. See what I told you. Price digging through the order block once again. I will get stopped out eventually here, but at least I got my profits out of this trade. This is the action that I would not like to see, because then I would have to face a retrace back to my stop loss areas, and I'm not allowing price to do that. NQ still has still has some room to go, honestly. It just made a relative equal high, but as I said as well before, price can eventually form an SMT, and I'm not willing to play those SMTs to the downside, since I'm in a long position. Let's see if price can react once again to the order block here. Friday's first presented fair value gap is indeed acting as a resistance here. Let me just check. to do this swing. Yeah, my stop is right above 0 standard deviation, and we stopped at minus 0.5, where the first presented per value gap from Friday's action is. Yeah, so far it is holding. So far it is holding. NQ holding as well, but forming some relative equal highs, lows, I mean, which can be used eventually. These 10 a.m. lows can eventually be used on lunch hour. So we are approaching the 1050 macro as well. We have some 15 minutes before 1050 macro. But as you can see, if you are able to managing your stop loss well, you eventually can stretch your position to the 1050 macro. I'm just curious to see if it really works, because this is a pattern that I have been noticing the last few weeks. You just have to have in mind to take partials along the way and eventually protect your position, but not too tight, leaving some room for the market to do its own thing. Your price action is kind of thick right now. We are in the same range for about 40 minutes already. But I'm expecting a last push to the upside before any kind of a reversal. But it can eventually give us a reversal. My general bias was kind of bearish today. I was expecting London lows here, but since we had buy side liquidity still active and free to be taken, I mean, price would eventually come first to buy side liquidity, or eventually these relative equal highs before taking us down. Price once again trying to disrespect the order block. That's why I pushed my stop to the upside here. That way I will grab some of these floating profits. Yeah, kind of a boring session today, honestly. Today was a session full of action, especially in the first minutes. Then the market just range bound. But the first minutes from yesterday's session was kind of a roller coaster, honestly. Yeah, this first presented for value gap from Friday's action is really acting as resistance here. But I guess sooner or later we will go through it. We are approaching the 1050 macro, so the 1050 macro will eventually get us a reversal, or eventually get us a continuation of this upside move. Since ES already purged its buy side liquidity, it is logical for price not to keep going higher. Since NQ has its buy side liquidity to purge, I'm expecting it to go a little bit higher eventually. In case it wants to come lower, I will be stopped out here with some profits. Price is still working that order block, and we'll go further down, working it. Yeah, I can see I have my stop right above the 15-minute order block, so probably it will take the 15-minute order block and then resume to the upside. It will get me stopped out, but it is what it is. So eventually I can use 930 open as another defense line. Let me just check here, but I will lose half of what I would like to save. Yeah. So got stopped out in profit here. Let's see what price wants to do. It is probably just touching the 15-minute order block, which is at 9:30, and will continue its way to the upside. I will just engage in short positions if we invert this fair value gap and eventually the first presented fair value gap as well. Otherwise, if price continues to the upside, there's no room for I think there's no room for a risk to reward that's going to be generous. Honestly, I don't know. Let's see. Well, for now, I've taken some profits on this demo account here. For those who don't know, I'm just trading demo until Friday. Monday I will resume the combine. Yesterday I just messed up the combine, so that's why I'm trading. That's why I'm trading demo and paper trading. But it is what it is. I just have to know how to stop when I'm in drawdown. I think that's the next step that I have to work on. Yeah, NQ, just let me check here. NQ, just let me just check its high here. 17,894. 17. Yeah, just NQ just made another relative equal high. But price right now is just, I think that is just doing a retrace to come a bit higher, because we are touching the 15-minute order block. Only if we lose that order block, then I would be bearish, because my overall bias is kind of bearish. I would like to see, and I said it on the first minutes of the stream, that I would like to see London lows being purged. But meanwhile, we had this buy side liquidity here, which I would like to see first purged. So market just did it, and now we are waiting for what's coming next. We are 4 minutes. We are 4 minutes away from the next macro. So let's see if this macro is really a retrace or it is really a continuation to the upside. We'll wait a bit for it. So far, we are respecting bearish PD arrays here. We are working below 930 open, respecting bearish PD arrays. So it can give us a run to the downside, but I'm not comfortable taking a short here when you have first presented fair value gap right here and this fair value gap that was respected right away. And on the 15-minute time frame, we are working inside of a order block as well. Let's see if we can invert this one. If so, then we will probably be primed to go lower. That's what I was expecting from the beginning of the stream. But since we had buy-side liquidity here, I'll give a shot to a long position. See, if I would have not protected myself, I would have been facing some kind of a drawdown here. That's what I don't like to see. Yeah, 1 minute for the macro. So macro might be starting the reversal, honestly, because at this point it doesn't left much to this fair value gap being inverted. So notice how price just rejected this order block, which was our last line of defense, the midpoint of the unwall, started to respect bearish PD arrays, rejected 930 open, and is now working this fair value gap here, which was the one that initiated the up leg here. I would like to see it as being disrespected. Right below we have the first presented fair value gap as well. So let's see. It would be great to see another retrace to the 930 open and seeing it be rejected as well. Yeah, so far rejecting this PD array as well. And we are back into the first presented fair value gap. At this point, we are, let me just check the OTE levels, which are important as well. Yeah, we are still respecting OTE levels. Let's see what happens as soon as we touch the first presented fair value gap here. Let's see if price will give us any kind of reaction. And let me just check here the upside scenario, which is yeah, I'm just checking the upside scenario where this is the last leg to the upside, and then we have some confluence here, dragging price down. Yeah. So the last macro, the 1050 macro just started, and it will probably mark a reversal at this point. Yeah, price is coming down. So for those who were searching for some kind of short action, this would be an entry here. So far there is no any more fair value gaps to the downside. You could eventually taking another entry here when 930 open was rejected, and then yeah, prices just will probably give us some kind of entry at this point. Yeah, price continues to dip lower. Let's see if we can have some kind of a displacement to the downside, forming some type of fair value gap. Price is approaching 830 open here. Where do we have midnight open? Midnight open is down here. Yeah, so far we were right about what what I was expecting from price. I was expecting price to reach buy side liquidity. That's why I took this. That's why I took this this long here. And right now, that's the bearish move that we were eventually expecting after buy side liquidity gets hit. So right now approaching 8:30 open, we have this tiny fair value gap here. There we go, a reaction at 8:30 open. Let's see what type of reaction does it give us. Would be nice to see a retest of the first presented fair value gap. It would eventually it would be acceptable. But as you can see, price is not willing to come to these bearish fair value gaps. We have one here, we have one here as well. We'll just note this fair value gap here to see if we can accept it or if we can reject it. So price really reacted here at the 8:30 open. Let's see if we can get the first presented fair value gap. If we can get the first presented fair value gap, it would be eventually a nice area to continuation to the downside. Yeah, 1050 just marked the reversal. Honestly, it didn't work as I was expecting, but majority of times it does work. 1050 marked the beginning of the reversal, honestly. Yeah, so far we have 930 937 sell side liquidity taken. That's why we are reacting this way. I would like to see it come a little bit higher here. Otherwise, we are primed to go even lower. Yeah, NQ is working above the first presented for value gap, so NQ does not convert it first presented for value gap as ES have done it. Let's see, I'm expecting it to go until the first presented for value gap. I had to assume a short position here. It had to conceive a retrace to the first presented for value gap, and honestly, it would not give us a good risk to reward. I would like to see it come eventually here, and something like this would be permissible for me. And I will eventually only open a trade here because I'm on a practice account. My rule says that you should not take any trades after 11. Yeah, but ES is having a hard time to disrespect this bearish for value gap here. So I guess we will roll down. But yes, I need to have another closure below it, otherwise it can do a zigzag here, and I'm not willing to accept zigzags. Price once again retouching the 830 open. A small fair value gap here. If we get a closure below this wick and price comes eventually to the upside once again, touching this fair value gap here, that would be a nice entry. Yeah, no fair value gap, and price is reaching back into this range, as you can see. That's why I was demanding a close below. Let's see if price can reach now a little bit to the upside here. We have the demanding close that we were talking about. Price will try eventually another touch on the 830. We'll just move it a bit below it, giving it some room. There we go. It is as well touching the order block here. So the downside should be, the next move to the downside should be eventually, I really would like to see these relative equal lows being taken. But it is acceptable for price to react here as soon as we enter this fair value gap. And eventually midnight open as well. So this would be our first profit target. Partial here. We'll put a limit here. I'll just take one off at these levels. And as soon as we hit this, I will eventually move my stop loss to break even. Wait for and wait for the reaction as soon as we touch the bearish fair value gap. So price is now going in our direction. Yeah, at this point there's no need for it to be totally exposed. I will just put it as a free trade. I'm expecting some type of reaction here as soon as we step in the fair value gap. There we go, profits are taken here. And eventually we will stretch this further away to see if we can get lower prices, eventually midnight open and London lows. So these PD arrays like this one should be respected now. Otherwise, we will go to the upside and try to rebalance this fall here. I guess midnight open will give us the chance to take another partial off. So now we just have to wait and see if price wants to come down further, or if it wants to react here as soon as we touch the 1 hour fair value gap here. But there's not much to worry since we are at break even right now. We have this fair value gap as a defense. We have this order block as defense as well. So the ideal situation is to have three PD arrays serving as defense, but when you have only two, I guess break even stop loss is the best one. The price is now digging into the fair value gap here. At this point, I will lower my stop, not giving the market too much room for a retrace. We are already inside the 1 hour fair value gap. So I expect the midpoint of it to serve as some kind of a resistance as well. Touching the midpoint. So let's see if price wants to react from it, or if it still go to the downside. Another bearish fair value gap here. So this fair value gap, as you can see, it was not traded. So this is some kind of a breakaway gap. It should be left open like it is. So for that reason, I will drag it a little bit lower. This should be our line of defense now. there's the midpoint of the fair value gap breaking a reaction here right to the order block. I don't want to see it close above it, otherwise my stop will be in danger here. I could have left it right at the break even, but honestly I'm not willing to do that. Yeah, I got stopped out here in profit as well. So here was the reaction that I was expecting from the midpoint of the fair value gap. I'll take out this limit buy order as well. So right now, if price just starts to reject these PD arrays here, I will probably engage with not a short. But if it comes right to a 930 open, no. See how it retraces, it wicked above, and it retraces but closed below the midpoint. And there we go. Here we have the reaction at the midpoint of the fair value gap, which usually those reactions are kind of harsh, honestly. That's why I decided to protect myself right at this fair value gap here. But as you can see, we are rejecting this one. Let's see if I just want to see if we close above it or if we close below it. If I would have to guess, I think we will close below it, honestly. This could eventually be another position. But at this point, I would like to have my stop above the order block here. So as you can see, we retraced. Let's see if we can manage to invert this one as well. I might take something like this. And a continuation of the trend to those relative equal lows. Yeah, price came back to the fair value gap. I just reduced my stop here. my leverage as well. So let's see if it will give us what we want, or if we retrace once again at the midpoint, but we should reject it right now. Yeah, we should close below these 2 wicks, just respecting the midpoint of the fair value gap. Price respecting this bearish fair value gap. This is just like a BPR where price is balanced. It's like a balanced price range. So I'm expecting price to roll down, not coming again to the upside. We still have some liquidity below us. We still have midnight open. We still have these relative equal lows as well. So let's see. Otherwise, price will eventually try to retrace higher back to the NWOG, retracing it, and then eventually coming down. Yeah, price not taking its time, but not violating the BPR, which is a good signal. I'm still expecting price to roll down. We are as well inside the 2 hour of stream, so I will not take you guys any further on the stream. I will end it soon. But yeah, this is what I'm expecting for now. I will eventually put a limit buy here at midnight open. Okay, just limit by. And eventually the rest of the position will be taken out at these relative equal lows. So price is now marching its way down. I would like to see a close below the midpoint of this bullish fair value gap and these two wicks. So price is now struggling with it, but this is what I really would like to see. Not price coming once again to the upside here. If I take a look at NQ has some sell side below, still has, but honestly ES already took it, and it might offer some kind of a SMT if price starts to reverse in this area. So we should have to take it in mind. Yeah, this might be the last chance that I give the market to retrace to this fair value gap. Otherwise, we will probably go higher here. Let's see if we can get a rejection of this point here, giving the market another couple of minutes to decide what it wants to do. Let's see if price wants to respect this BPR or not. Seems like it don't want to respect it. It doesn't want to respect it, but we'll give it a couple of minutes, 1 or 2 minutes. Yeah, we converted this bearish one, this bearish for value gap. Price kind of supported on it, and what I would like to see here is kind of a displacement to the downside, disrespecting all these candles that are pushing price higher. Yeah, but at this point, I guess this stop loss will get hit here because price is really pushing higher. But I maintain my bearish bias. I probably should have allowed the price to go higher for some kind of a retrace, because we are in a sensible area. It's the 1 hour for value gap, so a bullish reaction is expected here, and it is really doing that. So I'm still expecting lower, especially these relative equal lows on London, but it seems like price needs to reach for a higher retrace first. But yeah, with this trade, I will conclude and resume my stream. For those who just start watching it, well, we managed to grab some here. As soon as the market opened, I saw that we still had buy side liquidity from yesterday's high to be tagged. I entered at this retrace. It took out some of the partials here, and then got stopped out at profit here. Then we managed to grab some more, taking a short here as soon as price rejected 830 open, and as soon as we touched the 1 hour for value gap, I took some off. So this concludes my trading for today. This was the last position. It didn't work that well, but I'm still content with what I interpreted from the market and what the narrative was. But because the first narrative was that I was expecting some kind of a bearish retracement to these relative equal lows, I'm still expecting those, honestly. But as soon as I saw that we still had some buy side liquidity to take first, I took advantage of that. And then when the market offered me some kind of a entry point, I took advantage of that and as well, and ended up opening a short position. Then I got subbed out at break even in profit, and this last one was the last one that I probably wouldn't even take on a combine or on a real account, because it is past 11:30, and I said it when I was trying to enter here. But yeah, this one didn't actually worked out, because price needed to retrace higher first, honestly. So this is the type of action past 11. This is not the type of action that I usually play. So with this, I will end the stream here. Hopefully to see you tomorrow. And for those who haven't been here since the beginning of the stream, I will continuing to play on this practice account here, since I have to wait for the reset on the combine. So it will happen on Monday, and Monday I will be back trading a real combine and not a a practice account or paper trading or a demo account, whatever you want to call it. So this is for today. I hope you really liked what you see here today. Drop a like. It will help us the engagement and all of that stuff. And if you're not subscribed yet, just hit the subscribe button as well, and hope to see you tomorrow with another trading session. Have a nice day, guys. Thank you very much.